One of the things that's plagued this team is how quickly they get off to a start in the game. So let's see what the first 10 minutes looks like.
There was a loss last Saturday on the CW at Georgia Tech, 72-68 for Duke. They're 22 in the nation. Charlotte's in the green, and they have the ball to start our game. So glad that you're with us on a Saturday in the ACC. A huge Saturday of action. Really bump on the play. And Roach.
Nick Graves, a homecoming for him from Durham, North Carolina.
Ted Valentine, Lee Cassell, and Jerry Heater in charge of the action this afternoon. Going inside of 10 of the shot clock. Deep into the possession. First time out for Charlotte. Shot clock down at 2. Driving to the rim. Not quite enough. Brett Gill.
Pretty good defensive possession for Duke coming right out of the clock. You got almost a 30-second shot clock violation.
Blue Devils shot 42% a week ago at Georgia Tech. Struggled from beyond the arc. 4 of 16 as a team. McCain straight away. And it's a 3-ball to get us rolling.
He's a guy whose scoring has been up and down, but I think he can be really consistent. 41% from 3. I think he's somebody, if he hits his first shot, can have a big afternoon.
Exactly, Mike. Could be good for his confidence after going 0 for 3 on three-pointers. Jackson with a rim bender for Charlotte.
He's a guy who's been injured the last couple of years, hasn't played a lot of time. He's kind of a 20 to 23 minute a game guy early in the season. Still doesn't have his conditioning yet, but had a big game against Stetson his last game, 19 points in 20 minutes.
That was a career high effort for Jackson. That is Roach down the lane, and they got fouled.
Well, Roach in his last 3 averaging 20 a game. And if you're looking for a guy who's going to pick up the scoring a little bit for Proctor, it's going to be him. Can go both ways. Drives left, finishes right. Strong finish inside. Didn't have a great end of the game against Georgia Tech. A couple of turnovers. But he's a captain and something you don't see at Duke much. A senior 4-year guy here.
As he completes the three-point play, Jeremy Roach is playing in his 104th game in a Blue Devil uniform. He's a 76% free throw shooter. Early lead for the Blue Devils. Jackson trying to back down on Filipowski. Knocked away, out of bounds, keeping it this end of the court with 14 on the shot clock.
And you're seeing no double-team help at all. You're seeing man-to-man, straight up, I'm going to guard my guy. Filipowski, nice job that time.
Big win on Tuesday at home for Charlotte against Stetson out of the 8th sun.
No help, no hedging on screens, fighting through.
Jackson again with a jam.
Well, and this is the second time that he's profited from a guy getting beaten off the dribble.
Jackson was 8 of 12 shooting against Stetson. He's taken a couple of high percentage shots so far. Fistful of rim both times. Filipowski, top of the key.
Yeah, he reminds me, physically in the way he plays, Armando Bacot over at UNC.
Bacot, the leading rebounder early on in the season of the ACC. Jackson way away from the hoop, looking for a safety valve. Patterson, nowhere to go. Jackson will tee up a 3. Bold, but not beautiful.
No, and much better him shooting that shot than the prior 2 possessions that he got. He's 2 of 10 from 3 coming in on the season. John Shire talked about this, moving Filipowski to different places on the floor, to the elbow, getting him out where he's not getting double teamed as much.
Mitchell aggressively to the rim against Jackson, and a foul is called.
Here's that look, and get beaten off the dribble. Filipowski trying to get over a little late, getting off the help, and nice dish. Patterson, really nice player for them.
Mark Mitchell is at the free throw line, the sophomore from Kansas City, Kansas. 69% from the stripe on the year for Mitchell. McCain comes out for Duke. Jalen Blake's coming into the lineup. McCain hit that three-pointer earlier, Mike.
Yeah, Tom, we may see a little bit of this, especially in the perimeter, some early substitutions. If you get some guys with maximum effort on the defensive end of the floor.
Blue Devils have struggled from the free throw line. They're 11th in the conference. 70%. They've got a 3-point lead early on in our first half. Patterson, after a couple of pumps, put it up there and missed. Foster comes away with it. Defender on his hip. Foster. In the paint. And free throws coming up for Jeremy Roach. It's a second on Graves, Mike. Roach, the senior from Leesburg, Virginia, did lead the team. Team high 20 points in that loss on the road against Georgia Tech, where Duke had dominated that series, Mike. Prior to our game last Saturday, Duke had won 16 of the last 17 meetings with Georgia Tech.
Graves is he's a big part of what Charlotte does. I mean, 24 assists, 6 turnovers, really good with the basketball.
Mitchell out,
and it's one thing, you know, with Aaron Fern, that he will not, with 2 fouls, he will put you on the bench, and he'll sit him down till the second half.
Sean Stewart is into the lineup for Duke. He wears number 13 in white.
I think you're going to see a little bit more of him, and I think you're also going to see a little bit more of TJ Power out on the floor.
Dangerous three-point shooter for Duke, TJ Power.
Yeah, that's going to take a little bit of pressure off of Filipowski on the perimeter.
Patterson crosses it over mid-range, and he knocks it down.
His three-point shooting has gotten better, but he's really dangerous going to the basket and in the mid-range.
He is their leading scorer, just a shade under 15 points per game for the 49ers. And Makai Patterson. He deflected that one out of bounds. It will stay with Duke along the baseline. We'll take a timeout. We're early on CW Courtside Saturday, and the Blue Devils have a 3-point lead. We're also up in the Raptors with the G-Man. All right.
Always a special place, and you know, you guys are terrific, and it makes it more special to come back here with you all and do a game. And great memories here, and great memories every time I come here with you.
Foster pumping up a 3-ball.
Caleb Foster actually did a nice job down at Georgia Tech. 36 minutes for him, 12 points in that game, and that was kind of filling in on the fly for Tyrese Proctor. And you know, this team had a week to get used to playing without him. And that was actually, you know, a good find. And that time, Filipowski didn't have to contend with the double team. He found the open guy off of the dribble.
Ninth made 3 of the season for Caleb Foster. Patterson through the defense, and the kick for the wide-open 3. Reber hits it.
Yeah, that's his specialty. He's going to be out there. He's only taken 9 two-point shots during the course of the year. So he's a guy you've got to look for beyond the arc. 8 of 9 from 2, so not bad inside the arc.
Reber, the redshirt junior from Greensboro, North Carolina, hitting that 3-pointer. Filipowski looking for his first shot of the game, Mike. It's on a drive, and it spins off the rim.
Well, that's what John Shire would like to see him do as well. Maybe catch the ball in the elbow, put the ball on the floor.
Milicic lost the handle in transition, and the dunk at the other end. Jalen Blakes.
That is where Duke is so dangerous, turning turnovers into points.
Berry also into the game for Charlotte, number 11 in gold and green. Patterson trying to go one-on-one. Mid-range and a hit for Charlotte from Threadgill.
Blake spit on the fake that time. That is a good offensive move.
That whistle's going against the Blue Devils. Back to Charlotte.
Illegal screen on Stewart. Yeah, Milicic just the loose handle right there. Great breakout, great look ahead. You know, Roach, as soon as he came up with the turnover, his eyes went up the floor.
Junior Jalen Blakes with that jam at the other end. 49ers cannot collaborate. Pass was intended for Jackson and out of bounds.
Loose pass. They tried to get a lob to Jackson. I don't think he was expecting it.
Jackson had a couple of dunks early on for the 49ers, trailing by 3. Just over 13 minutes to go in our first half at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Not a lot of scoring out on the floor for Duke at this point with this lineup.
Sellout number 512 in a row. You're in Durham. Shot clock is down to 6. Roach carving his way against 3 defenders. Young trying to clean up the mess.
And that's where Young is going to get his scoring in the offensive glass. Now, I don't think with Mitchell and Young, you don't have to double team either one of those guys in the post, and Charlotte is continuing to do that.
Bonus offense from Ryan Young, who averages just under 3 points per game. He is an experienced player, though, in a transfer from Northwestern. Game number 131 in college for Young this afternoon. Shot clock getting deep. Patterson, free throw line. Mitchell goes high for the board, had it knocked away. Jackson over Young, got it back for a follow. Another miss for the 49ers. How about another chance? Patterson misses, and Young swallowed it up, and a foul is called.
Patterson on that, trying for another offensive rebound. Still, this is a big physical Charlotte team.
There's the first foul on Patterson. He'll leave the ball game. Threadgill in there. Two points for Patterson in the game in the first half as he goes to the bench. Duke by 5. Had put together a 4-game winning streak prior to the losses at Arkansas and then Georgia Tech. And that's a 3. Roach has it, and he's got 8.
And again, with this lineup, Roach is the one scorer on the floor that you need to zero in on, and he was wide open.
Threadgill directs some traffic. Shot clock inside of 10. High degree of difficulty on the move and the miss from Braswell.
Pretty nice help by Young, though, on that drive.
Young hustling back down the court, looking for the board, and he got it to preserve the possession.
2 offensive rebounds by Young.
And it results in a 3 from Blakes, and Duke has its largest lead of the first half.
Only his second made 3 of the year, and that's made possible playing time in college. I mean, you know, they talk about, you know, Michael Jordan and Lenny Bias, and think of the highlights that would have happened back in the early 70s.
An amazing honor for David Thompson.
And so well deserved.
Absolutely. Back to the first half action here on CW Courtside Saturday. Jackson has an open lane to the rim, and he punishes it. He's got 6, and it's all dunks.
Both guys left him with a live dribble, a breakdown defensively.
That ends an 8-0 run for the Blue Devils, who, by the way, from beyond the arc, Mike, 4 of 6. And 4 different players have hit 3s. All the way to the rim and creating contact and free throws for Blakes.
Well, and for Charlotte, this is exactly what you need. It's right here, you got two guys going with the ball and a live dribble at the elbow, but coming out of a timeout when a team's making a run at you, a great answer right here.
So Jackson had the jam on one end, Mike, but he picked up his second personal at the other to put Blakes at the free throw line.
Now, bad decision on the front end defensively, but probably a good decision by Filipowski not to get the foul right there to, to compound things.
So Berry to the bench for Coach Fern. Quick conversation. Blakes at the line.
Well, I want to see, and not that I want him to pick up a foul, but I want to see the referees on Niago signal a foul on 99. I didn't even know you could wear 99.
Might have to go George Mikan on you.
Yeah, right?
Or Wayne Gretzky.
Might have to get two referees side by side to get that one in.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Threadgill, nowhere to go against Mitchell. Staunch defending. Following Threadgill, and that was the defending from Mitchell all the way, Mike.
Yeah, and that's what they want to see from him to start with and build from.
McCain almost punctuated that defensive effort by Mitchell with a three. Blue Devils are 9th in the ACC as a team, 33%. A little bit better this afternoon so far against Charlotte. And we're past the midway point of the first half. That rattles out to Filipowski. Filipowski has not scored in the game so far, Mike.
Only one field goal attempt now, his second one, and had some contact on both of them. No fouls called.
Diago defended him on the drive there. His teammates have picked up the slack, 24-13.
Well, and with Niago, it's 5 fouls that you can give away, so he can be physical with Filipowski.
3-point miss from Braswell. Four rebounds now for Filipowski. Roach walks it up. 8 points for Roach. He leads all scorers right now. Kane out of the corner came up short, fouled in the act of shooting. It looked like Threadgill was the closest 49er. It'll be Patterson on the foul.
Yeah, and that's, Duke is getting to the line. They're getting inside. That's starting to be a number that's really turning in their favor. Charlotte is yet to get to the free throw line.
6 of 7 for the Blue Devils so far on free throws. Freshman Jared McCain's at the line as P.J. Power comes into the lineup. Blakes leaves. Blakes, by the way, Mike, averaging less than 2 points per game. Right now he's got 7.
Those are really found points, too. And it's because he hasn't taken a ton of shots this year. This is a really intriguing lineup out there for Duke now, too. You got Power and Filipowski and Mitchell along the front line.
So the lead up to 13, that is now the largest of the first half. Just 2 points in the last 5 minutes for Charlotte. Looking for a three. They won't get that one. Long rebound. Volleyballed around to Filipowski.
And that's the guy who shot Milicic, I think, is their best player, and he has not scored in this game yet.
Foster tried to get it to Mitchell, fumbled out of bounds. We're going the other way. Charlotte, Mike, just 35% shooting in this first half.
Yeah, I was at their practice on Thursday, and Milicic, the transfer from Virginia. And that's the thing John Shire told us is, these guys, they've got Power 5 transfers in their lineup. And he said this team would probably be in the middle of the pack in the ACC. So trying to get his team's attention with with this squad. And but Milicic, I was very impressed with, and his numbers reflect that.
Foul is against Charlotte. It's Niago.
You can see that left leg kicking out a little bit. And part of that, too, Patterson didn't wait for him to come and get set. This is the thing. You won't see that reaction to offensive things in this game, but John Shire will get fired up on the defensive end of the floor.
Filipowski down the lane. Tough shot. Free throws earned. And by the way, Mike, we'll get to that in just a moment. I was watching Lee Cassell. He signaled the foul on 99. I'll tell you how he did it.
It's just gotten better.
Absolutely. I agree 100%, Mike. And Manny Diaz was the defensive coordinator at Penn State. Also was a head coach in the ACC at Miami. And speaking of football, Tuesday on Inside the NFL, nobody breaks down games like our crew with highlights and analysis you won't find anywhere else. This week, the guys take a look back at the mammoth Sunday night battle between the Eagles and Cowboys. Inside the NFL, Tuesday, 8, 7 Central, only on the CW.
By the way, I mean, to me, Army-Navy game is unbelievable, and it's taking place today. Both teams 5 and 6, but you know that matters not. Up in Foxborough,
first time ever.
Yeah, usually played in Philly,
in the home of the Patriots. Milicic on the drive, hanging and scoring. His first 2 points as the leading scorer this season for the 49ers. Milicic averages just over 13 per game. Coach K starting his coaching career at this point as a graduate.
Yeah, he talked about, it was funny to listen to him. He said practice, following his mentor, Bobby Knight, who he played for there. And he said, it was a different deal coaching guys who had just come from a 50-mile hike and then expecting them to play defense and get in stance.
Wide open miss from the corner. Braswell, he has struggled. McCain scoops it up aggressively to the rim. Takes a tumble and scores.
So many times a missed long three, and I think he surprised his teammates with that shot, is the first pass to a fast break. Duke looking to get up the floor quickly in this game.
That's 9 points for McCain. He leads Duke in scoring. Roach has 8, Blake has 7. 6 points for Jackson. He's on the bench right now for the 49ers. Milicic again starting to get in the flow from close range.
Well, and taking advantage of power at that time. Getting to his right hand.
So Duke trying to get its first win since November 24th, just over a couple of weeks ago against Southern Indiana. Right here at home, 80-62. On a 3-game home winning streak after the loss to Arizona. Milicic against Mitchell.
A terrific man-on-man defense.
Mitchell up for the rebound after the miss from Milicic. Up ahead, Filipowski with the kick, and it's McCain. And it's 3 from the corner pocket at 12 points.
And that's, his decision-making. And, Filipowski really doesn't really sulk if he's not getting his shots. And his decision-making with the pass is getting better.
At the other end, in transition, up and under, and good for Foster.
Adamant about keeping it the same has been Mike Krzyzewski. And, there was talk about building an arena in downtown Durham. And he's been right at the forefront of keeping this the same. Now, there have been upgrades to the inside of it, but it's been pretty much the same.
85th season for Duke basketball. Just want to update you that fan receiving medical attention on the side of the court was conscious and taken for further evaluation, so good news in that regard. Approaching the 5-minute threshold of our first half. In traffic. Bounces off to Filipowski. 7 rebounds in the first half. Up ahead to Mitchell. He'll jam it.
And that's for him, if that's where he can get his points early, it's going to be a big boost for his confidence. Out in transition, get some dunks.
3 points for Mark Mitchell. He's a double-digit scorer, 11 per game. And 11 points, 4 boards. And the loss at Georgia Tech, fighting the weak side, and it's won by Mitchell. Up ahead, Filipowski. Little ball fake. And a little late.
Left hand, nice job that time. Got his balance, good ball fake, and nice finish, and really in no hurry.
9-0 run on the first field goal of the game for Filipowski.
They really have done a fabulous job in this game looking ahead. Everybody, Mitchell running the floor extremely well. You see just the eyes up right there, ball fake, going for it, finishing with his offhand.
Sophomore from Westtown, New York, Kyle Filipowski. Patterson is at the line for the first 49er free throw. 78% as a team for the year. Patterson shoots 70%. Close to 15 points per game, leads him in scoring. Transfer from Missouri State.
But from Australia, and you got to think that Aaron Fern is going to have a good pipeline from Australia. Only the second international coach to have a Division I job.
Mitchell, line drive three. Filipowski tried the one-hand rebound and committed the foul and doesn't agree. There's a foul on Filipowski with he and his teammates way out in front of the first half. Looks like a week of intense practice has paid off. Tyrese Proctor not been part of that very early on. Within the first 2 minutes, landed awkwardly on his left ankle on a drive against Georgia Tech and couldn't play the rest of the way.
Right now, the shooting for Duke, 13 of 21, 5 of 9, 3, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. So really good offensive, and a lot of that has been as a result of their defense.
Just 33% shooting for Coach Fern's team in the first half. Foster picked up the foul, his first. Just 1 of 8 on three-pointers also for the 49ers. They make about 6 per game and shoot 33%. Berry. Check out the shot clock with 2 on it for Berry. Turnaround free throw line. First 2 points for Berry in the game. 20-point lead. Duke. 4-1 at home this season. Prior to the loss to Georgia Tech, they'd won 5 straight ACC openers. Mitchell in a congested area. Late in the shot clock, he'll earn free throws.
And see, that's what Mitchell needs to look to do more. Milicic is guarding him, but he was playing a spy. He was roaming around, looking to disrupt, really wasn't playing Mitchell. He's got to be aggressive there, get the pass, which he did, and attack the rim.
Fridays are magical with an all-new episode of Penn & Teller Fool Us, starring Penn Jillette, Teller, and new host Brooke Burke. Fridays, 8/7 Central only on the CW.
I remember seeing them in Philly years ago. Awesome.
Another miss from three-point distance for Charlotte. The struggles continue. That was Threadgill, and then Milicic got back to tip it away. So far this afternoon, the Magic has belonged to Duke. 21-point lead against Charlotte, a team it has not seen since 2009. So long ago that Coach Shire was in that game in a win. They did play 4 times, but it was not in the modern era. Early 1900s.
2010 would be a memorable senior year for Coach Shire.
National championship, McCain hits. 2010 at Lucas Oil Stadium, their win against Butler in the title game. 61-59.
That half-court shot came perilously close to going down.
Back to Lucas Oil Stadium in 2015 to beat Wisconsin in the national final for the Blue Devils. And Coach K. McCain minutes to go in our first half. Filipowski, individual move. The defender fell down. He took advantage.
A good no call by the official that time. Milicic trying to buy a foul. Really, John Shire has reason to be happy with both ends of the floor.
About 65% shooting for the Blue Devils, and that's a little fall away by Milicic over Mitchell. He's got 6 and a timeout on the court. Looked like Milicic also wanted a foul that he did not get.
Big East schools are keeping some of those rivalries alive.
Absolutely. Judah Mintz led the way with 25 points.
And Ed Cooley, who was an assistant at BC, left, did a great job at Providence. And this is his first year at Georgetown.
So we'll get a look at another first-year head coach for Notre Dame, Michael Shrewsbury. Taking over for our good friend Mike Bray. Off the miss, Berry wants to run through the entire Duke D.
I think Dalen Berry can be a great player for this team. In practice, watching him, his numbers don't reflect it, but he's got great explosiveness, rangy body. I think there's good things ahead for him.
Steele and Berry came up with it in our first game of our CW Courtside Saturday doubleheader. Virginia Tech, behind 19 points from Hunter Couture, defeated Valpo 71-50 in Blacksburg. So glad that you're with us. Tom Wormy, Mike Jaminski, our outstanding CW ACC basketball production crew with you in Durham. There's the strip and the steal. Right down Broadway. Shot was challenged by Milicic as Stewart tried to get to the goal.
Probably should have stopped at the free throw line, although splitting, nobody really stopped the dribble, but a very nice recovery by Milicic. And this way, I mean, he does everything. He can shoot the three, plays off the dribble, rebounds the ball well. Yeah, I think he'd be playing at Virginia if he had stuck in there. And but this is a great transfer for Aaron Fern.
About a 9-second difference, game and shot. So Roach, conservative dribble up near midcourt. Two-man game. Filipowski, watch out below. He got plenty of rim, but lost the ball.
And Milicic was the one who got the block.
By Foster.
Here's the look. I mean, Filipowski was not expecting the challenge, and that is.
So Duke was shot only 42% in the loss of Georgia Tech. Much better. Much better this afternoon. They're going to adjust the clock. We see 9.2 on the clock. That seems like a lot, but okay. 9.2. And then overzealous defending from Jalen Blake's his first personal foul.
I don't know that that's overzealous given the week that they just had in the
True.
In the
That's how
practice
practice
gym.
went, right?
Yeah.
I will say that based on what Coach Shire told us, Mike, his Blue Devils have responded to this week to re-energize and recharge. Patterson, a three. That's a rarity in the first half. He has 6 points. And so a late three from Patterson to take it to the locker room for the 49ers, although Duke Mike dominated most of the way.
Yeah, as I said, both ends of the floor really, despite that, be more productive. For Filipowski, he has gotten off to some slow starts this year. You look at the Arkansas game, 2 quick fouls. Came back later in that game, had a big second half, but they were in too big of a hole to crawl out of. He only had 9 field goal attempts in the game down at Georgia Tech.
And Filipowski at Arkansas in the losing effort had 26 points. The game high 12 points on the road at Georgia Tech last Saturday. Cranking up the second half on CW Courtside Saturday, and a foul is called. Graves for Charlotte, his third.
And we've seen in this game so far that Filipowski has not spent a lot of time in the low post where he can get doubled a lot. He's been out on the floor more.
Blue Devils won 27 games a season ago as the tournament champs, as that one rims out. McCain with a reload, and it's money. 17 points and 3 3-point baskets. McCain, the freshman from Sacramento, California. Milicic, catch and release. Filipowski had the position. Tipped out of bounds and will stay with Duke. Plenty of time on that shot clock.
Really playing with 5 out on that possession. Everybody for Duke got beyond the free throw or 3-point line.
You mentioned Duke winning the tournament a season ago. Coach Shire, the first person to win one as a player and coach. After last year, 14-6 in conference play, they went 16-0, Mike. Here at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
They've lost an early game this year against Arizona.
Beat Virginia in the title game of the tournament. It's all coming down to the final episode. You won't want to miss the emotional season finale of Sullivan's Crossing. This Wednesday, 8/7 Central, only on the CW. Chad Michael Murray of One Tree Hill fame starring in that show, and it's the final episode. Don't miss it. We had a lot of outstanding episodes of ACC football on the CW this season, Mike. We added another chapter last week in Atlanta with the second game of our doubleheader and the surprise win by the Yellow Jackets. They weren't surprised. Coach Stoudemire wasn't.
So that was a very nice start for him.
First ACC game on the sideline
against Duke at home
and a court storming. Man, that was all net. Graves ripping the ropes for the 49ers. First points of the game, Graves.
He picked up the 2 early fouls in the first half. Really didn't spend much time on the court. Talked about it. He's from Durham.
Filipowski. And he hit the deck, and Filipowski is down behind the play.
Right ankle.
So Roach grabs the board, and Filipowski still down. It's a great move, Mike, with the secondary spin, and he comes down on Jackson's foot.
And he didn't roll it completely over, just tweaked it a little bit. Now I'm not diagnosing the injury at all. Anytime you tweak it, it hurts. We won't read lips there, but Jose Fonseca, the trainer extraordinaire for Duke.
5 points, 8 boards for Kyle Filipowski, who leads Duke in both of those categories so far this season. On that bench for the moment. McCain's up to 19 points. His highest season in career. Roach, he lines up a 3, and it's not an issue.
You see, again, I'm not burying the guy. But, they come down and double team Mitchell inside, which in my opinion, I don't think they need to do. And that allows a good look at a jumper outside.
124 career-made three-pointers for Jeremy Roach, the senior. He's got 2 tonight. Jackson backs his way in, got by Young.
Yeah, and that's just good recognition. And Jackson is a guy who they may think about it through this entire game. John Shire they've not double teamed anybody. They've let everybody play man on man.
First points for Jackson that weren't of the dunk variety. Out to McCain, sizes it up, angular rebound, pulled down by Graves. Patterson had Roach on his hip, created some contact. So Filipowski, Mike, has gone back to the locker room for further evaluation. Foul was on Roach, his second.
make a decision right. You know, sometimes like for this game, if you want to, you know, you can retape it and, you know, depending on the severity, or they can make a decision to shut it down in this situation. You're up by 21. Now 20.
Yeah, they do have a game on Tuesday here at home against Hofstra in the first all-time meeting between Duke and Hofstra. That's a 7 p.m. game. Baylor's coming up on the schedule. Syracuse in early January is the first ACC opponent for Duke as well.
Baylor is that's a game that's looming large because it's a non-conference Power 5 game.
Roach. McCain floating to the rim.
And Duke has gotten some big-time offensive rebounds in this game that have turned into points. I was saying, so far in their Power 5 non-conference games, Duke's 1-2 at this point. So for their NCAA tournament resume, that Baylor game is going to be big.
We'll keep an eye on those net rankings as the season progresses. 4 teams out of the ACC are ranked in the top 25 this week, including Duke at 22. That's a late foul.
Not a good foul by Jeremy Roach.
It's the third on Roach. His teammate Jared McCain is up to 21 points, so he's continuing to increase on his season and career high.
Scouting report, you know, Graves 5 of 15 coming into the game from 3, so make him prove his point. Challenge that shot, but don't foul him.
81% free throw shooter, Nick Graves, as Mike mentioned, from right here in Durham. He's hit double figure scoring 5 times this season for the 49ers. One more upcoming, fouled on the three-pointer. He's up to 5 points for Graves.
Graves actually played at Durham Academy here for a couple of years with Coach K's grandson. Mom's still a teacher here.
Knocked out of bounds to the 49ers. In a 20-point hole in the second half, just 4 minutes in. Roach comes out, picked up a couple of fouls, so he'll leave with 3 personal fouls. Roach has 11 points, and he's made a couple of three-pointers. Threadgill hits the 3. So Filipowski walking back to that Duke bench.
Well, and, you know, without Filipowski and really looked good walking back, and without Proctor, some interesting lineups, combinations out on the floor for John Shire.
And Trudy Young, immediate double, looking for the open man. The man was open, but it was out of bounds. McCain leading the way with 21 points for the Blue Devils, swooping down the lane.
4 of 5 from inside the arc. He's getting into the rim, shooting much higher percentage there, and it's reflected in his scoring.
16 made threes on the season for McCain, and that leads the team this year. Players get tangled up and a foul is called.
McCain. Now see, here's boy, you got the yin and the yang of this. You got McCain at 0, and you got
oh, wait a minute,
Niago at 99.
We got it all covered there, numerically.
Yeah.
So we're watching Kyle Filipowski. He sent it over to that scorer's table. We'll keep an eye on that for the moment. As Patterson,
well, the thing was, if he was going to return, it would have to be early, or the only thing that was going to happen was that ankle was going to tighten up on the bench. So probably a good sign.
10-2 run for the 49ers. Cross it over, go to the rim. Milicic recovered and knocked it away from Foster. Other end, hanging and scoring. And that's Graves with 7 points.
That's another way that often triggers a break. You get the rejection, and then Milicic has erased a lot of points at the rim.
And now the run is 9-0.
4 blocks in the game so far for Milicic.
Out of bounds, 49er ball. Filipowski coming back in.
This looks like 2 points and then not. Great rush up the floor, no bigs back. And a really nice take by Mr. Graves. And some nice life on the bench by Charlotte.
Coach Aaron Fern's team back into this game. 55-42. Trailed by 18 at halftime. Patterson trying to back it down. And does so. 11 points for him, Mike. That's an 11-0 run.
And he has got a very strong lower body and showed it on that play. And looked like a polished low-post player.
How about Charlotte at 75% shooting this half? Roach, the aggressive move and a foul is called. Earlier in the half, Duke was up by 25, 45-20.
And that's a big foul. That's the 3rd on Patterson. So a good take by Roach. Calm things down, get to the free throw line, but you get the 3rd foul on Patterson.
A 25-point lead late in the first half for the Blue Devils. Roach at the line. And our courtside Saturday doubleheader coming up next week. At Miami and at Notre Dame. So that's Jackson, the big man for Charlotte, getting some medical attention. Looking at the right hand of Jackson. He's got 8 points in the game. Roach has 13 with those free throws. Foul on Duke, Filipowski. Second on him.
Actually, Charlotte has been able to get to the rim off the dribble time. Nice job, and Nick Graves has had a nice comeback in the second half after being limited in the first half with foul issues.
Charlotte was in Conference USA a season ago. This year they're first in the American Athletic Conference.
Really good teams. Florida Atlantic, a highly ranked team this year. Memphis, Tulane, South Florida.
And Mike, the 9 points for Graves, all in the second half.
Yep.
McCain has an alley. He knows his alleys. He kicks it out. Blake's got to fall.
Well, and that time with Milicic, he took the body, and it really limited his ability to block the shot.
It's now 9 points for Jalen Blakes.
That's, again, a guy like that for Blakes to pick up the scoring, averages just under 2 points a game.
Roach almost had the steal. Now Graves. Perimeter work in Milicic. That's a 3. Followed his own miss. Graves driving. Offensive foul against Graves. And the 4th on him.
Just barely got there. That was,
Mike, again, the emphasis this year, you must have legal guarding position outside of the restricted area before the plant foot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that was very close. It makes it very, very difficult for the secondary defender to get position.
That is the emphasis, calling block charge this season. Mitchell. Free throws upcoming. First on Milicic. So Mark Mitchell to the free throw line.
Well, and what this accomplishes too is you've got now Charlotte with 5 team foul, so you're a couple away from being in the bonus. And Mitchell he's got such a flat trajectory on his shot. He's got to be almost perfect to make it.
69% on the season for Mitchell. Couple of misses. McCain had a chance at it. So 14 of 19 as a team. Free throws for two. Patterson against two defenders. Filipowski came over. Foul is called. So the foul was not on Filipowski. They got Mitchell for the foul. His third. Blakes will be called for the foul. You saw Mitchell was not involved in the defensive play. So again, Blakes picks up the foul. His second. I think they're trying to figure out who the foul was on. Our replay revealed that Blakes was certainly closer than Mitchell. Because the initial signal was 2-5, which would have been Mitchell. But you'll see he's not really in the play defensively. It's more Blakes right there, number 2 in white.
On the body, yeah.
And see, Mitchell's nowhere near the 49er.
Yeah, then Filipowski thought they called it on him coming in late.
All right, so for the last time, Mike, I'm going to tell you that Blakes picked up the foul. And that is 2 on Blakes. Okay. That's an easy foul at the signal. 2, not 99. Patterson at the free throw line.
You know, you touched on it, that Patterson is their leading scorer, but he has very quietly worked his way into this game. Really didn't take a lot of shots in the first half, but is starting to take control of this game.
Patterson has 13 points on 4 of 7 shooting, and he's 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Filipowski into the corner. Blakeson got it right back. Filipowski from Roach, lost the handle, fights for it. Shot clock's at 6. Blakes. Free ball, Blakes.
Now, how about 33 points from McCain and Blakes combined?
Down low and lost out of bounds. Reber was open, couldn't handle the pass. So we'll step aside for a moment. Blue Devils in front, 11:30 to go in our second half. In the first half, Charlotte's won 2 of their last 3. That includes a win Tuesday at home against Stetson, where they made 11 three-point baskets. That's a season high. They've got 4 made threes in the game. Duke has 8 on 14 attempts. Filipowski. Trying to create some space. His second effort, he hit the deck hard.
What happened that time? He just got buried underneath the backboard, hit his elbow, right elbow. And it has been he spent a lot of time on the floor. Just look where he is. He can't. There's nowhere for him to go. Reber did a nice job defensively, held his ground.
And clutching that right elbow, and he's scoreless in the second half too, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a tough afternoon for Mr. Filipowski.
5 points, 9 rebounds. Filipowski, 49er basketball, trailing 62-48. First true road game of the season for the 49ers. Knocked around. Reber goes to the floor.
I think they called a foul on Reber.
I think Blakes was under the pile. Yeah, Reber gets the foul, his second. Thought the hustle by Blakes, Mike, to take it away because Reber had that basketball.
Well, and this is the thing that John Shire wanted to see coming out of that week of practice is white jerseys on the floor going after basketballs.
needs some help. Mitchell lunging for the pass, and Berry.
Jeremy Roach almost dribbled himself into a lot of trouble that time.
It's the first foul on Berry, 1 and 1.
And here we are, 10:24 in the second half, and Duke is in the bonus already.
So Mitchell just 2 of 6 from the line so far. 4 points for Mitchell, 4 rebounds. He's at the stripe for John Shire. Shire, an assistant from 2014 to 2022. Assistant on that 2015 National Championship team for Coach K. And a player in 2010 National Champs. First team All-ACC and All-American John Shire, as I sit next to the All-American for Duke. A little better at the line for Mitchell that time, Mike. I know you appreciate big man free throw shooter.
Well, and here's the thing, and especially for Mitchell, if they're going to play off him, he needs to, lessen the distance, create contact, get to the free throw line, make the other team pay for not guarding him.
Well, Graves, who just came in, Mike, with his 4 personal fouls, lost the basketball on the sideline. Initially, it was given to Duke, and they will have possession. Blake's on the inbounds. 9 turnovers in the game for Charlotte.
I think, as the season unfolds, that TJ Power may be kind of an X factor for this team. His 3-point shooting could be a big plus for Filipowski. Widening the floor a little bit, taking some pressure off of him, especially in the low post. You can see even, when he goes down low, you can see how closed in their defense is.
Filipowski, end of the shot clock, too strong. Back out to Roach.
Nice, even though he missed a shot, nice tap out to recycle the possession.
Roach, Filipowski. Traveling prior to the kick out to Foster. And that's also the 9th turnover for Duke in the game.
He's very skilled with the ball, but for a big guy, it's
met. Duke won that one. They played 3 times prior to today here, and Duke has won them all. 64-48, 9:35 to go in our second half. Wormy, Jaminski, and our outstanding crew on CW Courtside Saturday. We'll keep it going for you on the CW and the ACC all the way to mid-March. Take you right up to the ACC tournament. Washington, D.C. is the destination this year. Patterson. Shot clock goes inside of 10. This is a complete isolation. Now he kicks it. Came up way short. Ball did not hit the rim, and then Graves steams it up. Mike, it looked like
0.8 seconds on that. Just a bailout foul that time.
Second on Foster.
Now it's interesting with 9 minutes to go in the game. We're seeing the first double team help, and it actually came on Patterson in the low block. We saw Filipowski coming over to give a little help in the low post.
So Foster is coming out with Graves at the free throw line. McCain came back in. McCain leads everybody with 21. In fact, Patterson is the only 49er to get the double digits with 13. 1 of 2 Graves. He's into double digits now with that free throw.
And that's all in the second half.
I mean, the 49ers were down and out, Mike, at one point late in the first half. Down by 25, and they have tried to claw back into this one. Filipowski. McCain. Shot clock rolls inside of 10. Roach. Mitchell needs to beat the clock. Got it up on the rim. Don't know that it hit the rim, and in fact it did not. Shot clock violation against Duke.
Well, and the one guy that you don't want the ball in at the end of the shot clock. And you did hit the rim on the side, but you can't look at it right now. But it's still, at the end of the shot clock, Mark Mitchell is not the guy you want to have the ball in his hands. It's got to be a guard or Filipowski.
I only said that, Mike, because I saw a couple of officials tap their head, which is an indication for shot clock violation. I'm just the messenger.
I won't shoot you.
Thank you. Although you've wanted to in the past.
No.
Blake's
never used.
Blake's with the personal foul. That's his third. All right, so Patterson goes to the free throw line. This is 1-1. Both teams in the bonus. Milicic over the top, lost it. Ooh, that is a critical breakup of Milicic, who almost came down with that one. Coach Shire told us his team would be tested by this Charlotte team at 5-3 on the season. Duke with the same record starting the afternoon. McCain lets it go. Mitchell got it. Mitchell hit the deck and he's going to the line. So when we come back, Mark Mitchell will be at the free throw line for John Ship. Did you get all that, G-Man?
Yeah, I soaked it all in. You're just washing over me.
I appreciate that very much. It's always a pleasure to be with the legend for the Blue Devils, Mike Jaminski, whose number hangs in the rafters of this building. And we'll do it for the entire season on CW Courtside Saturday. Mitchell has a vote. 8 points now for Mitchell.
And, I think, with him and with most players, that the more reps you get, the more you go to the free throw line, the more comfortable you feel, and hopefully for him that transitions into confidence and better results.
Right on the offensive glass, won by the defensive team. The other thing for Mitchell, Mike, a little more experience in late game situations, controlling your emotions.
Yeah, that's not a wise technical late in the game down to Georgia Tech. He had a great follow dunk, and then the taunting technical negated all that.
Blue Devils will play Georgia Tech here on the home floor for the second meeting between the teams this season. McCain got two defenders in the air. He goes old school runner and couldn't finish the play. The crowd certainly wanted it. Good-looking play the other end for Charlotte, finished off by Braswell. His first bucket.
Yeah, he had a rough first half. Actually was coming off a very good game against Stetson. Had 15 points. He's been battling injuries for most of his career.
And Braswell was 0 for 5 from the floor in this game in the first half. He's on the scoring sheet. Mitchell able to hang on to it. Aggressively to the rim. Spun into the defender. Created the foul on Reber. Third on him. So Mitchell continues to get his free throw shooting practice in. 6 of 10 from the line so far. He's got a couple coming up right here for Mark Mitchell. Saturday, December 30th, the Barstool Arizona Bowl is coming to the CW. Catch all the action as the high-flying Toledo Rockets face the rugged Wyoming Cowboys. 2023 Barstool Arizona Bowl, Toledo, Wyoming, Saturday, December 30th, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, only on the CW. Certainly hope you were with us for all of the ACC football action during the course of the season. We had some thrillers. We're picking it up with basketball as well.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Mitchell's made his last 6 free throws.
He's now 8 of 12 in total.
And that's for the rest of the year, you'll live with that number for sure.
Started the afternoon as a 69% free throw shooter.
And right there, right at the corner of the free throw line at the elbow, would be a great place for Filipowski to receive.
Roach stepping back and knocking it down.
Good pump fake, science step. J.J. Redick used to make a living with that move.
16 points for Roach above his season average of 14. Milicic baseline, and he lays it in for the Niners. It's 8 points for Milicic. 5.5 minutes to go in regulation.
Duke in no hurry in these possessions, trying to use a good portion of the shot clock.
Filipowski forgot the basketball. It's a sliding saving attempt by Niago, went out of bounds. And Mike, 512 straight Cameron Indoor Stadium.
I just started laughing to myself when I was sitting over the corner. I heard that, because then I said, all right, this is great. Everybody tries to make it loud. And, whatever I heard, let's go Duke, let's go Duke. This is over the top.
Exactly what they're experiencing this afternoon. Roach put on the brakes and let the defender fly on by. Pull the old Tom Cruise move. 18 points. You know what he did there, Mike? That was his move. He stopped short and hit the jumper. Niago, nice move by 99. Deserved a better fate, though, didn't he?
Well, I'll tell you, this Charlotte Ball Club can throw some large bodies out of the floor.
Got to imagine, Mike, Charlotte's going to contend in the American Athletic Conference. They've got size, speed, good coaching. Coach Shire was raving about the coaching staff for Charlotte.
Well, the intriguing,
and you supported it with the piped-in crowd noise.
Well, and Milicic, I think, he's a polished player, but the one, Deshaun Jackson, as he gets into shape and he gets his timing right, he's the guy who can really see some improvement.
First American Athletic Conference game will be January 2nd at SMU, which, by the way,
coming out of the ACC.
Will be in the ACC. The footprint will enlarge. SMU, Cal, and Stanford part of the rotation next season.
When are we heading out to California?
Cannot wait, G-Man. Cross country.
If it's the last weekend of the season, we may hang for a little bit.
I mean, Filipowski changing hands. And it just spun off. We'll go first class, G-Man. That bathroom's like an English garden. Patterson on the move, the follow in the miss, and Filipowski got it.
It's all about, you get that Sunday with the fuzz on the bottom.
Well, and you saw the shot by Foster. He was looking for a foul, and I think he got it. 20-point lead for Shire and the Blue Devils. Late in the second. Duke football fans hoping they will be celebrating like that after the bowl game and then into next season. Free throw line for Caleb Foster. McCain's 21 leads everybody. Foster's got 5. He's at the line. Made his first start today for the freshman. I wonder if Manny will wear that on the sidelines. Keep the tradition going. What you got cooking here in Durham for football season? Have to take care of basketball season first.
You can ask him that in the pregame meeting, pre-production meeting.
I tell you what, the coaches in the ACC are so generous with their time in all sports, but especially during football season for us in the CW. Certainly wish the best to Mike Elko, departing as the head coach of Duke. Milicic, opposite shoulder. Filipowski. 12 boards, Filipowski. You know, the good thing is, Mike, remember, he went down with that ankle issue, and he came back in the game.
But I'm a little interested that he's still out there, with a 22-point game, and
he wants to run. Shot clock at 6. Foster gave it up, Mitchell. Late shot clock drive and score. I think Mitchell.
From what I've seen, he has been very aggressive in attacking the rim. It's been a different mindset for him in this game. I hope it continues.
12 points now for Mitchell, who attempted a three-pointer, didn't make it. He's now 1 of 14 on threes for the season. That's an easy layup for Berry.
And you know, when you're afraid to go to the free throw line, you can be very timid out there on the floor. So, you know, if his free throw shooting continues the way it is today, I mean, that could change his whole game.
Duke as a team, Mike, 22 of 28, and that's close to 79% from the free throw line. Timeout on the court.
A couple games, and then you've got Christmas break, and then you come back, and you got to get reignited, and then you got the ACC season starting. So it's not an easy. December is not easy.
You saw on the schedule January 2nd at home against Syracuse to open up the ACC schedule for Duke. We certainly thank Coach Diaz for spending some time with us at halftime. Quick interview. Enjoying the festivities this afternoon.
Met him last night for Washington Duke. Having dinner over there, and as was he.
Blake's with another 3, 15 points. That's just 2 shy of his career high of 17 for Blake's. Behind the back. Again. 1 too many times.
Third time, caught up with him.
Milicic. McCain. And that is off of Sterling Young. So it appears that the Blue Devils, on their way to victory on their home floor, will improve to 5-1 at home this season. 6-3 overall. Final minute. No luck for Foster. So this snaps the little 2-game losing streak for Duke. Back on track. I'll tell you what, Charlotte made it interesting though, Mike. It was an 11-point game at one point earlier in this half.
Yeah, it's a good game for them to build on, and you know, but for John Shire and his team, he talked about getting back into the practice gym and shutting out the outside, all the noise, relying on themselves, and you know, I think it was mission accomplished on that, you know, from that standpoint.
Spencer Hubbard coming in for Duke. Hubbard seeing action in his 3rd game this season. He does have a made field goal of the 2-point variety for the senior from Los Angeles, California. Shot clock winding down.
All right, 55.
15 seconds. Looks like Hubbard is just going to dribble it out, G-Man. 80-56, the Blue Devils are winners in impressive fashion, and they had to fight off the 49ers in the second half.
Well, nice job, both ends of the floor, offensively, defensively. Charlotte's showing some nice fight in the second half, but